Today we're going to make these pumpkin spice whoopies. Pumpkin comes into our bakeries during the fall. So usually October, November, December we introduce a lot of pumpkin desserts, from pumpkin spice cake, pumpkin spice whoopies, pumpkin cupcakes, pumpkin muffins, pumpkin cheesecake. It's kind of a pumpkin world for about 2 months. Of course, pumpkin pie, which is a classic. So we're going to run into the kitchen and throw a few pumpkin spice whoopies together. So we have 3 cups of flour, then 2 tablespoons of cinnamon, 2 teaspoons of ginger, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of salt, a lot of spices in this dish. Then we have 1 teaspoon of allspice, a half a teaspoon of cloves, and a half a teaspoon of ground nutmeg. So it's very aromatic. Then we have pumpkin puree. This is canned pumpkin puree, which is fine to use, get a good quality. Dried cranberries. You can also use raisins. Eggs, 4 eggs. We use 1 tablespoon of vanilla. And this is about 1 can, by the way, of pumpkin puree, which is about 1 3/4 cups. The zest of 1 orange, about 1 tablespoon. There's 1 1/2 cups of granulated white sugar, 1 cup of brown sugar, light brown sugar, and 1 cup of vegetable oil. And that's your list. This is a really easy recipe to put together too. So we're making pumpkin spice whoopie pies. The first step is to put 3 cups of all-purpose flour in a large bowl. That's the last cup here. And stir it around just a little bit to aerate it. Then you're going to take all your pre-measured spices and salt, baking powder, baking soda, and dump it all in at once. And stir together with your whisk until it's really mixed well together. You want to make sure the spices are completely blended, as well as the baking powder, baking soda, and salt. This will be added later to the wet mixture. So this is what we call an oil-based cake. And oil-based cakes are really easy to make because you're mixing your dry, you're mixing your wet ingredients, and then you're mixing the 2 of them together. So it's super fast and super simple. The next step is we step over to our mixer, and in the mixer we're going to put 1 1/2 cups of the granulated sugar, 1 cup of brown sugar, and 1 cup of oil. Dump that all in together, and you mix them for about a minute until it's completely mixed together. And once it's mixed together, you're going to add your eggs 1 at a time. Now, these are already pre-cracked, so start to look granular. As it comes together, and you add 1 egg at a time. And after you add the egg, you just kind of let it mix for about 30 seconds, just till it comes together. Add the next egg. And the next egg. So with an oil-based cake, you can't really overmix at this stage, but you want to be careful that you're not adding too much air to the mixture. It's always a good idea to stop halfway through. You'll read this a lot of times in recipes that you should stop and scrape your bowl, and that's a really important part in baking, is to make sure that you're getting all of the ingredients that might get stuck in the bottom, make sure that they're fully incorporated. Once you've got that mixture completely blended, about 10 seconds or so, then you're going to add the next 3 ingredients, which is the pumpkin puree, the vanilla, and the orange zest. And I'm going to load this to get that in here. So it's a good idea to chill the pumpkin at this before you add it to the mixture. Chilled pumpkin will help your cookies to stay firmer, and that way they'll rise better. If your pumpkin is room temperature, the cookies tend to spread. And 1 tablespoon of vanilla. I cheat, I know that a capful is about 1 teaspoon. And the zest of 1 orange, or about a tablespoon. I love these planers, zester planers. If you don't have one, get one. They're the best. And you want to make sure when you're zesting an orange, or any fruit for that matter, that you pull it once and turn it, and pull it again. If you do it too many times in one location, you'll get the white pith, and you don't want that to be in there. So So 1 tablespoon is about 1 whole orange. And it will start to smell really, really aromatic. And the great thing about the planer too is you can just knock it right into your pan there. So, once this all comes together, this will take about 30 seconds again, not very long. The next step is that we're going to add our dry ingredients off of the mixer. So that was beautiful. I'll give it a little whirl just to make sure everything again is mixed. You want to double check with your spatula. And the magic words are scrape the bottom of the pan. I think when I'm teaching my staff in our bakery, that's the one thing that we tell them over and over again, is to make sure that you're going to the bottom of the pan. There might be sugar or buttercream or something, whatever it is you're making, stuck in the bottom, and then it won't be fully incorporated. And so, lastly, before you add the cranberries, put about half of the mixture in, the flour mixture, and give it a little stir. And you're going to fold that in. And again, with these oil-based cakes, you really can't overmix. So you want to get it just till it's fairly incorporated, and then you add the rest of the flour. Very easy. And then just fold a few times. I mean, this is one of the fastest recipes you can ever make. It'll probably take you more time to clean up than it will to just make the actual recipe. This one also makes great cupcakes. It makes a great cake. The portion that we're doing here today will make about a 3-layer 9-inch cake, which serves about 20 people. So for the holidays, that's perfect. If you have a lot of people at your house like I do. So. That looks great, and this really smells good, even as a raw dough. Now you have a couple options at this stage. As I mentioned, you can make a cake, you can make cupcakes, or you can scoop it for whoopie pies, which is what we're going to do right now. And for whoopie pies, the best tool you can buy is an ice cream scoop. We love this one. It's small. This makes small whoopie pies, as you saw earlier. You just take a nice little scoop and level it off next to the side of your pan. Perfect little scoops. This will make about 60 cookies, which when they're finished is 30 whoopie pies. And you want to make sure that you're spacing them about 1 inch to 1.5 inches apart, because they will expand and grow, but they'll also grow taller. This smells so good even when it's raw. Put them in the oven. If it's a regular convection oven, it's about 325. Sorry, regular standard oven is 325. A convection oven will be about 275. So each pan should hold about 12 cookies. And remember, you want to make sure that you're rubbing it against the side of the pan when you do this step. Otherwise, you'll get too much batter. And if you get too much batter, your cookies will be very unevenly portioned. And it's good to have the same size cookies each time. That way they'll fit beautifully together. Great. And we'll stick this in the oven. These don't take very long to bake, which is always wonderful. So ready to go into the oven. Very simple. Also, when you put them in your oven at home, make sure you use the middle rack. If you have 2 pans going in at once, you can put them side by side. You're going to turn them halfway through. You want to make sure that your oven is even. That will be a factor. You don't want one side to burn and the other side to be raw. So into the oven we go. So here's our pumpkin whoopies after 10 minutes. They bake for about 8 to 10 minutes depending on your oven. And these are hot. You want to let them cool for at least a half an hour. And you can certainly cool them longer. You can make them the day before. When it comes time to ice your cupcakes or your whoopie pies, you gotta remember you can make many different things with these, from whoopies to cupcakes or cakes. So the buttercream that we use, or the icing we use for this, is called maple cream cheese. Very simple recipe. It's cream cheese with a little butter, powdered sugar, and maple syrup. Couldn't get easier. Beat it for about 10 minutes. And again with our famous and favorite tool in the kitchen, which is an ice cream scoop. This one is quite generous, so you don't really want to fill it all the way. It's a lot of buttercream. So flatten it off on the surface again. And kids can help with this. Super, super simple. Keep it refrigerated until you're ready. Just a scoop. Flatten the other one on top of it. And I like to put a little powdered sugar on top. Just kind of makes the color pop a little bit. Give me a little bit of color. There you go. Cranberries. Cranberries are a fantastic addition to the pumpkin spice whoopie pie. So I did one pan without. You can always add the cranberries for a second round. And again, just fold them in gently. And do your second batch with cranberries. You can also do raisins with this. And if you're crazy, you can also do chocolate chips. The kids like it with chocolate chips. So, and that is a pumpkin spice whoopie. One of my favorite desserts. You might have to eat it.